All right, so you've been diving deep into this crypto world under the new Trump presidency, and, well, there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, a lot going on.
You sent over tons of stuff from Cointelegraph, Crypto Slate, even some Reddit threads, Blockworks newsletters.
It's been a busy week in crypto, that's for sure.
It has, hasn't it? And you want to know how this new landscape might affect your crypto portfolio.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Right. Honestly, I think we all do.
Absolutely.
So let's dive in, see what the experts are saying, highlight some trends, maybe even help you spot some opportunities along the way.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so starting with what the experts are saying. Crypto Slate mentioned this rumor about Trump potentially using executive orders to enact some pretty major crypto-related changes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah. They didn't really get into specifics, but 5 changes via executive order, I mean, that could really shake things up.
For sure. That would be a powerful statement. And actually, this rumor kind of ties into some interesting developments that Cointelegraph reported on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, one of the largest crypto exchanges, he's been publicly calling for countries to establish Bitcoin reserves. And get this, he's even met with Trump to discuss potential crypto policies.
So there's already a connection there.
Yeah, it seems like there's something brewing behind the scenes for sure.
And to add to that, Cointelegraph also pointed out that betting markets are giving a 70% chance of Trump creating a Bitcoin reserve by 2026.
Betting markets. Ah.
Yeah. They're not guarantees or anything.
Right.
But they have been pretty accurate in the past. What do you think about those odds, especially considering those meetings with Armstrong?
Well, it definitely adds another layer to the story. If those betting markets are right and Trump actually does create a Bitcoin reserve, it could be incredibly bullish for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It would signal a major shift in how governments view cryptocurrency and, potentially lead to much wider adoption and legitimization.
That makes sense. Speaking of bullish moves, Bitcoin has been on a wild ride since Trump's inauguration.
Oh, tell me about it.
Crypto News reported that it surged past $100,000 again.
Wow.
Breaking that barrier is always such a big deal psychologically for the markets.
Huge.
You can't ignore the timing. That surge happened right after the inauguration, likely fueled by all the speculation about the potential pro-crypto policy changes we've been discussing.
Yeah, definitely. Seems like the market's anticipating those moves.
Right, and it's not just like retail investors jumping in either. Crypto Slate highlighted that Fidelity's FBTC Bitcoin ETF has been leading this resurgence. ETF inflows are surging across the board.
Yeah, for those who might not be as familiar, an ETF, or exchange trade product, is basically a basket of assets that you can buy and sell on an exchange, just like a stock.
Okay.
So seeing these Bitcoin ETFs attract so much investment, that signals that institutional players, the big money, they're starting to take a Bitcoin seriously.
That's a big deal for legitimizing crypto, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
When these major institutions start putting their money into Bitcoin, it sends a strong message to the market.
But hold on. Crypto News also reported record single-day outflows from BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No, it's not. Even with all the excitement, there's still a lot of uncertainty out there. And some big players are clearly hedging their bets, just waiting to see how things play out with all this regulation and policy.
So even with Bitcoin breaking records, there's still some healthy skepticism in the mix.
Yeah, for sure.
And to make things even more interesting, Cryptocurrency News pointed out that Bitcoin's dominance of the entire crypto market is at its highest level since 2021. Even with all these other altcoins popping up, Bitcoin is still king.
Well, that's fascinating. What's interesting here is that in times of uncertainty, investors often retreat to what they perceive as the safest, most established asset.
Makes sense.
And in the crypto world, that's Bitcoin.
Right.
It's the original, the most well-known, and that familiarity provides a sense of stability amidst all the chaos.
So Bitcoin is like the gold standard of crypto. But let's be honest, the real buzz right now is all about meme coins.
Oh, yeah.
Especially these Trump-themed meme coins.
It's a whole new world.
And Solana. Well, Solana is the Wild West of this frenzy.
Absolutely. It is the official Trump meme coin launch on Solana. That's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, it is.
Decrypt even had an article about it with some Bernstein analysts suggesting that all this attention that it's getting, it could actually influence how crypto is regulated moving forward.
Wow. That's pretty wild. Who would have thought a meme coin could influence regulation?
Right.
But that's not even the craziest part. The Crypto Times reported that the Melania coin, another Trump-themed meme coin, it surged like a ridiculous 22,000%
Oh, wow.
in just 9 hours
9 hours.
after launching.
That is insane.
It is.
That kind of explosive growth, it's a double-edged sword, you know?
Right.
On one hand, it really shows the power of this meme culture and how quickly things can move in the crypto world. But on the other hand, it raises some serious red flags about potential market manipulation and the risk of scams, especially for, those who might be new to crypto and aren't really aware of all the risks involved.
And it's not just individual investors jumping on this bandwagon either. The Crypto Times mentioned that World Liberty Financial, which is a major investment firm, invested $4.7 million in Bitcoin and then acquired $15 million worth of Ethereum. So they're clearly taking this crypto market seriously.
Yeah.
Even if it's partly driven by these meme coins.
Well, it's definitely a sign that established players are recognizing the potential of crypto, even amidst all the, shall we say, more unconventional trends.
Right.
It's a reminder that this technology is here to stay.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue disrupting traditional finance in ways we're only beginning to understand.
But we can't just ignore the potential downsides here, too.
Of course not.
Mark Cuban, the billionaire investor, had some pretty harsh words for the Trump meme coin.
Oh, what did he say?
Decrypt reported that he called it a potential regulatory setback. He's basically saying this is exactly the kind of thing that will make regulators crack down on the entire crypto industry.
Well, Cuban has a point. When you have assets just exploding in value like that with, little to no underlying utility or any real regulation,
Right.
it creates this environment that's just ripe for scams and manipulation.
Yeah.
And that definitely attracts unwanted attention from regulators, which, could actually stifle innovation and slow down that mainstream adoption that everyone's hoping for.
So it's like a balancing act almost. The hype and the excitement can bring in all these new investors and push the industry forward, but it can also attract all those bad actors.
Right.
And trigger regulatory crackdowns.
Precisely. And that's why it's so crucial for investors to really be cautious, do their research, and understand the risks involved before jumping into any investment, especially in this super volatile world of meme coins.
All right, so we've talked about Bitcoin, explored this whole meme coin frenzy, touched on some of the regulatory concerns.
Right.
But what about other altcoins that might be affected by a Trump presidency? We can't forget about those.
Oh, absolutely not. There are a lot of interesting things happening with altcoins right now. One that comes to mind is Solana.
Okay.
The Crypto Times reported that it hit a new all-time high of $295, partly fueled by all this attention from the Trump MP token launch.
Wow, that's huge.
And Blockworks also had an article about Solana potentially cutting SOL inflation, which could have a big impact on staking yields.
Okay, let's maybe break that down a bit for those who might not be as familiar with all these terms.
Yeah.
What does it even mean for Solana to cut SOL inflation?
Sure.
And then how does that affect staking yields?
Okay, so in simple terms, inflation in crypto, it refers to the rate at which new coins are created and added to the circulating supply.
Okay.
So when inflation is high, it can put, downward pressure on the price of a coin. So if Solana actually reduces its inflation rate, it could potentially increase the value of SOL.
Makes sense. And what about staking yields?
So staking, it's basically like putting your coins to work.
Okay.
You lock up your SOL tokens to help secure the Solana network, and in return, you earn rewards. Those are your staking yields.
Okay.
Think of it kind of like earning interest on a savings account.
So if Solana cuts inflation and the value of SOL goes up, then those staking rewards could become even more valuable.
Exactly. That's why people are so interested in this potential change. It could make holding and staking SOL a much more attractive investment.
Okay, so Solana is definitely one to watch. What about XRP? There's been a lot of speculation about how a Trump presidency might affect that whole ongoing SEC case against Ripple.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. CryptoSlate reported that there's this renewed sense of optimism around XRP right now, due to the potential for policy changes under Trump. They even mentioned that XRP futures open interest is nearing record levels.
Wow.
Essentially, open interest is the total number of outstanding futures contracts for an asset. So this high open interest for XRP futures suggests that a lot of investors are betting on the price of XRP going up.
So they're betting that Trump will be good for Ripple.
It's certainly a possibility. Some people believe a Trump administration might be, more favorable towards Ripple and XRP in that whole SEC lawsuit. But, that's all just speculation at this point. We'll have to wait and see how things actually play out in court.
Okay, fair enough. But this potential for a shifting regulatory landscape under Trump, that's definitely something to keep in mind, right?
Absolutely. Regulation is one of the biggest factors that will determine the future of crypto.
All right, and we can't forget about Litecoin either. CryptoSlate reported that Nasdaq filed a listing application for a Litecoin ETF. Could we actually see an approval soon?
It's definitely possible, especially if the regulatory environment becomes, more crypto-friendly under Trump.
Right.
A Litecoin ETF approval would be a huge win for its adoption. Litecoin, it's often been referred to as digital silver to Bitcoin's digital gold because it's seen as a faster and more affordable alternative for those everyday transactions.
So with Bitcoin's dominance and potential government adoption, the buzz around altcoins like Solana and Litecoin and this crazy world of meme coins, this crypto landscape seems more complex and dynamic than ever.
It is. It really is.
How do you even begin to make sense of it all?
Well, it's a lot to take in, that's for sure. But I think it's important to remember that amidst all the hype and all the speculation, the fundamental value of crypto, it lies in its potential to disrupt and improve existing systems.
Okay, I like that. Back to the fundamentals.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for someone just trying to navigate this market right now?
Well, it means focusing on the long-term potential of the technology, understanding the risks involved, and just making informed decisions based on your own research and goals.
So don't get caught up in the hype, do your homework, and remember why you're investing in crypto in the first place. Solid advice.
It's not always easy, especially with so much noise and excitement swirling around,
Right.
But taking a step back and focusing on the bigger picture, I think, can really help you make more rational decisions.
Speaking of the bigger picture, we've talked about the potential impact on specific coins and the regulatory landscape, but there's another layer we need to consider here, the social and cultural implications of a Trump presidency on this whole crypto world.
That's a really interesting aspect that often gets overlooked.
Right. What do you think? How could Trump's return to the White House affect the cultural side of crypto?
Well, Trump's known for his ability to control a narrative and mobilize his base,
Yeah.
especially on social media. And then you have crypto, which is also driven by online communities.
Right.
And can go viral in an instant. So it seems like a potentially powerful combination, for better or worse.
Yeah, exactly. You could definitely see a scenario where Trump's rhetoric and online influence, they could actually further fuel this whole meme coin craze, right?
Yeah.
Creating both, opportunities and risks for investors. And speaking of meme coins, we've talked about the official Trump coin and Melania.
Right.
But this rabbit hole goes even deeper. The Crypto Times reported that Moonshot's user base just exploded with this whole Trump meme coin frenzy. It's like a whole subculture emerging around this stuff.
It really is. It highlights how meme culture is, increasingly intertwined with the crypto market these days. I mean,
Yeah.
These coins are attracting this whole new generation of investors who are just drawn to the humor, the hype, and, the potential for quick gains.
Right. But it's not all fun and games, is it?
No.
I mean, there's some serious concerns about the lack of, any real utility behind these coins.
Yeah.
Not to mention the potential for scams and all the market manipulation.
Oh, absolutely. And those concerns are definitely amplified when you consider all the stories coming out of the cryptocurrency subreddit about rug pulls, insider trading, and pump and dump schemes.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild over there.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. One user even described this situation with the Cuba meme coin,
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that one.
where the coin was supposedly backed by the Cuban government, and then shortly after, millions of dollars were poured into it, bam, rug pulled.
Wait, a country pulled off a rug pull. That's insane.
Yeah.
It seems like the barrier to entry for creating and manipulating these meme coins is incredibly low.
It is, and that's why it's so crucial for investors to really approach these meme coins with extreme caution. Don't just follow the hype. Do your research, understand what the risks are, and only invest what you can afford to lose.
So how do you see this whole meme coin phenomenon playing out in the long term? Will it just be a passing fad, or will it actually have a lasting impact on the crypto world?
It's really hard to say for sure, but I think it's likely to have a ripple effect even if that initial hype kind of dies down. For
Yeah.
one, it's definitely bringing this huge wave of new attention and investment into the crypto space, right?
Yeah.
And many of these meme coin investors, after experiencing all the volatility and, the potential for both gains and losses, they'll likely stick around and actually start exploring, other more established projects.
So meme coins as a gateway to wider crypto adoption. That's an interesting take.
It's a possibility for sure. And I think this influx of new investors combined with the sheer volume of trading activity around meme coins, I mean, it's forcing regulators to take notice. They're really going to have to start thinking seriously about how to address all these, well, unique challenges posed by these meme-driven assets.
Right. It seems like a whole new set of regulatory questions is emerging.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about another aspect of the crypto landscape that could be significantly affected by a Trump presidency.
Yeah.
Adoption.
Yeah.
The potential for, increased adoption and mainstream acceptance.
Right. Remember Cointelegraph reported that Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, has actually called for countries to, establish Bitcoin reserves.
Yeah.
He's clearly pushing for wider government adoption of Bitcoin.
Yeah. And he's not just some, random crypto enthusiast. This is the head of one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world. And he's been in, direct talks with Trump about crypto policies. So it's not crazy to think that we could see some significant moves towards legitimizing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies under a Trump administration.
It's definitely a possibility, something to watch for sure. If the U.S. government were to really embrace Bitcoin in a meaningful way, it could have like a domino effect globally,
Right.
leading to even wider adoption and, integration into that traditional financial system.
But we have to consider the flip side too, right?
Of course.
We've talked about the potential for regulatory crackdowns, and some experts are actually worried that Trump's America First agenda could hinder innovation and global collaboration in the crypto space.
Yeah, those concerns are definitely valid. If the U.S. tries to dominate the crypto landscape and just impose its own regulations without considering the global implications, it could create a more fragmented and, less efficient ecosystem.
So it's a delicate balance between promoting adoption and making sure that the U.S. doesn't become too dominant or controlling.
What a complex landscape. I mean, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
Haven't we? Bitcoin surge, this whole meme coin mania, regulatory shifts, the potential for wider adoption. It's a lot to take in. What does this all mean for someone like you listening right now, just trying to make sense of the crypto world under this new Trump presidency?
Well, here's the key takeaway. I think the crypto world is entering this new era of both, uncertainty and opportunity.
Right.
There's definitely potential for incredible growth, innovation, and that mainstream acceptance that we've been talking about.
Right.
But there are also heightened risks, volatility, scams, regulatory changes.
So how do you navigate this new reality?
By staying informed, being discerning,
Right.
and just remembering why you're invested in crypto in the first place. Don't get caught up in all the hype or even the fear-mongering. Do your research, be critical of the information you consume, and make decisions that are, based on your individual goals and risk tolerance. Excellent advice. And remember, knowledge is power, especially in such a fast-moving and, often unpredictable market like crypto. Stay curious, keep learning, and just keep exploring the possibilities.
And most importantly, I would say just think for yourself. The crypto world is, full of these passionate people with all these strong opinions.
Yep.
But ultimately, the best decisions are the ones that you make based on your own understanding and your own convictions.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. This deep dive, hopefully, has given you a clearer understanding of just how a Trump presidency might shape the crypto world.
It's a fascinating and evolving landscape. And, we'll be here to help you make sense of it all as things, continue to develop.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on diving.